Alright everybody, so it's Leo. I'm gonna be replacing the wheel studs on the hub assembly. So instead of replacing the whole entire hub assembly, which costs a lot more than your usual stud here, uh, it's a little bit more cheaper. So this, it broke in half. Not sure what happened to the other one, nor where did a lug nut went. So what I'm gonna do is basically take this whole entire brake roller assembly off, hang it onto a caliper assembly, or put it on top of one of the rims, which is just that. So I could probably just do that, put it on the side, that way it doesn't, rip. We don't want to break the brake lines. If not, you could just take this off and just hang it a little bit lower if it doesn't reach onto, on top of something. So we're gonna remove these screws here. We're gonna use one of these. So I got two sets. We're gonna use one of these impact screwdriver set. Forgot what it was called, so I think we'll grab it. I actually have this one. I had to purchase that because I mistakenly lost this at first. Then I found it. So one way is, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So this one is already loose, so it's gonna loosen it up. I'm not sure exactly, I forgot how this works. No, not that way. So you press it in to make it loose. To tighten it, you're gonna have to push it in. Give me a second here. Okay, so we're gonna try to loosen up these screws, right? So you're gonna twist it left. Right is to tighten it, I think. Then twist it left. Basically, you're gonna have to push it in. Actually, you don't need to. Okay, there you go. Twist it left for lefty loosey. So you're gonna push this inward. Notice that the screws are a little bit more stripped than usual, and you're gonna hold it tight firmly. And then you're gonna bang it, and should loosen it out. Okay, you can try it again. It starts to come loose. Just be very careful you don't damage it. So don't take it out all the way. You want to be able to loosen it good enough so you can just basically unscrew it. Same with this, same process. Put pressure on it. You're gonna hold it in. There you go. And you loosen it. See, it does come off. So that's why you want to be able to loosen it a little bit until it fully comes off. Somehow this is not going in, it keeps coming off. Okay, so I'm gonna twist it off. So you take it off. Take the whole thing off. Set it off to the side so you don't lose it. If you don't feel confident about these going back in, you can definitely purchase these at the dealership. Not sure what the prices are on them. It shouldn't cost that much. Possibly $5 for the set. So what you want to do next, so the reason why I got this is just to show you how far this can go in, and that's it. There's a little gap here on the side, so basically if you want to try this out and put the new one in, you won't be able to pull it inwards, meaning you're going to need to purchase one of these longer sets. But since this doesn't reach all the way in, you want to be able to pry this inside the hub assembly. So you want to be able to do that, because they definitely have little spines here that you want to be able to pull it in. So since this is longer compared to this little guy, you want the longer one. Purchase this from Amazon. So I'll show you the reason why, because this can keep going all the way in. How far deep it could go in. So you want to be able to press it back all the way in. We're going to use this to pull it inwards. So we're going to use a 17mm wrench. We're going to knock out the rotor out of place, since now this is freely loose. You know what? It's actually still under. Yes, it's not loose all the way. So I'm gonna get a bolt to press in here to release the brakes. So you need one of these. As you can see, it's an M8, one in the corners by 20 millimeters long. Technically you don't need it to be that long, 20 millimeters. You can have it 10 or 15, either way. But you need the metric 8 by 1 1/4. A lot of these applications works for a lot of vehicles. I've used it on a Toyota before, Sienna, and it worked. All you want to do is basically put this in there, and I think this might be a 15 or 14. I think it's a 14. So it is a 14. Actually, no, sorry, I was wrong. I think it's a 12. Okay, it's actually a 13. So basically, you're gonna lock it up just like that. Notice this part is kind of coming loose. You could use both bolts, or just kind of split it and release it from each end. I think that is loose already. Yep, seems like it's loose. Yes, it is loose. So once you notice it's just like that, then you already know it's out of place. So I'll save this for next time when I need to use it for a lot of brake jobs. And we're gonna release the back side, which is a 17 millimeter. Since it's on there pretty tight. Is it? I think I'm tightening it. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm tightening it. It's the wrong way. Yes, it was. Oh, it is cold. I'm not sure what the temperature is. I think it feels like it's in 40s or 50s. Low 50s, high 40s. I'm gonna move this out the way. So once you get that off, you're gonna use a ratchet, 17 millimeter ratchet. So basically, we use the whole entire bolt. Makes it a lot easier. So the reason why I'm not going to take this off from here and just keep it on, that way I don't have to worry about compressing the pistons inside and put it back in the same way. So I took it out. Easier that way. But I might end up bleeding the brakes. We'll see. Huh, it's kind of on there. I'd have been tightening it instead of loosening it on the bottom one. Okay, a lot looser then. Actually, I took it off. I didn't realize that. Alright, so really keep it on while taking this whole entire assembly off. Now, the only issue I have is I didn't grab a box or a container to place it onto. Alright, so using the rim to hold the brake caliper in place. Let's see. And we're gonna work our way to removing this guy. Might need some WD-40. So we're gonna spray some WD-40 on both ends. See if it actually will come out. I'm hoping it will. Makes the job a lot easier if it does just come out. See, I got a mallet. Let me use that. I'm going to use a mallet because it doesn't create too much noise. And if I don't want to damage my mallet, what I want to use is the other lug nut. lug nut here, if it actually has some thread left in this broken stud for me to be able to push it into, but I'm not sure if it does or not. Let's check. I don't want to ruin the thread as well. So good enough to where you can looks like it's in there pretty tight. Okay, let's see. You know, one good thing is when you use heat, it kind of deteriorates the rust around it as well. Okay, it's really on there. Let's take a look. It's on there, it's probably because it's never been replaced at all. And it's pretty old. So. My girlfriend helped me out, she took it off, so we have to use something metal, not the rubber mallet, because it wasn't coming off because of that. So we use that end and this end to push it out. Now I just need to take it out.
You need to replace
Came off.
it. Let me see. Keep it here.
Now we're gonna put the new one in. Since it's longer, it's gonna be harder to put in. And you cannot, it's too long. Shit. Oh, you know what? I could probably put it in this way. That's what I need to do. I have to lift up the other side so I could turn this. So now I can't turn it. I gotta lift up the wheel. So turn the wheel in this way. See,
So
I can turn it.
It's even, you can turn it.
Like that. Now, hopefully this goes in. I think I have to remove the screw, the plate. So even if I move it, it's still in the way. This I don't know how I can get this in there.
Not convinced yet? Explore our software with the assurance of our 30-day.
I think I need to put this in there. But this is in the way.
Which one?
This, the shoulder. No, even if I remove it, this part right here is still in the way, so no point.
What do you mean?
This part.
Oh.
See, I can't get it in because there's too much of this in the way. Just cut that part off, but which wouldn't make a difference anyways. Even if I cut that little piece, it's not like it's gonna get damaged. So I just need to get that in. Because if I release these two screws, it's not gonna come off. It's just gonna go back and forth.
Oh.
Right. So I need to cut the
Can
piece
you
here.
go?
Push it back more. No, that's it. That's the farthest it could go. That's the reason why it's screwed on. So I'm gonna probably cut a piece here.
It's not gonna.
No, it's not gonna damage. This is still there as long as that's there. I'm gonna cut off the piece. So I'm gonna cut off a piece here from there to be able to push this in, because this is in the way. Right, so we got the new bolt in. So it's hard to push it in. So I'm gonna try to use the lug nut to pull it in. It's starting to turn. Yeah.
I'll just have to turn.
Without breaking it. could just push it in. There's no plate here. Like go like this and then go like that. But this isn't here and it's not close enough. I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't break. If it does, it'll get stuck. So I decided to just purchase the correct one from the dealership, Honda dealership. So this is basically what it looks like. This one's kind of stretched out, it's warm. It's basically the original, most likely. I doubt this was the second time that's been replaced. You know, when would you ever see that happen? The same bolt being broken twice or 3 times. So I purchased this from the Honda dealership. It's right under $4, so it's not that bad. It's better off to get the correct one. I purchased one from Amazon, it wasn't the correct one. So the threads was correct, but the shaping and fitments was way different, way off. So this one I'm gonna basically just hit it in, since I can't get in normally. So you want to tap this in lightly as it goes in, because you don't want to ruin these threads and, you know, make it worse. So I'm gonna tap the rest inside. It would be great if I could just basically lock this in with a thread bolt. So let's take a look if we could just do it this way and see if that actually works. But most likely, the thing about this, you can't get it in. It's because it does need to be pulled right in. Okay, so basically just tapped it in lightly. I don't want to damage the whole surface, so I'm not sure exactly where it's gonna fit in. So what I'm gonna try to do is see if I can tighten it and get it in that way. Okay, so I'm using a 21mm deep socket. So it looks like it's going right in. Oh. So instead of me tapping it and, you know, causing more damage, probably might be the same either way. So it goes in. So I'm gonna drop the other side because I did lift it up. You guys want to take a look? The only reason why I lifted it up because so that way I can position that bolt in place. So I'm gonna drop it down. That way I have enough pressure just holding down the tire. Okay. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like from. Okay, so I'm gonna tighten it, and you can see. You can't really tell it's going in, but it is. It's actually pulling it in. Okay, so. Alright, so too much podcast going on. Prefer to listen to music, so I'm gonna tighten it in, and it's basically just gonna pull it in. Once you're doing that, you see the splines going in. And that's basically what you're gonna do to get this all the way in. Alright, so it's in. So what I'm gonna do is just release it. Let's take a look and see if it's all the way in there. Basically wearing a face mask because I was kind of cleaning certain parts of the engine, undercarriage, and it was really dirty. So so once we do that, get that on, and then take a look. Make sure the threads are good, so you want to get one of the blue nug nuts, thread it through, and there you go. So that's basically how you do this. I did have to cut out a little piece like I showed you guys. So we're gonna bend this back inwards. So It's the only way to get that bolt out and stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna basically put the brakes back in. So that's basically how you get that in and put a new bolt in. It's a lot cheaper and better management than trying to remove the axle nut, because this is literally the axle nut that just came off the vehicle when it was made from the factory. So the fact that it's very difficult to remove is because they literally don't want you to remove it, and for that reason is they want you to take it to a dealership and for you to basically pay them hundreds of dollars to just replace it. Same with replacing one of these bolts too. It's a pretty penny. I think it's about around $400 just to do this job. So you're basically wasting about almost $500 just to get one of these bolts in comparison to you doing it yourself, which is free and paying $4. So hopefully you guys like the video. Like, comment, definitely like and subscribe, because I'll definitely put out more videos out there for you guys for different vehicles when I get the chance, based on, you know, everybody's busy schedule as well as mine. So I'm gonna put everything back on, and yeah, so thanks guys.